Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to GrowedUpGeek Gaming, your home for narrative and roleplay focused Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live play campaigns. It is Friday night, our late week show. Welcome to Legacy of Blood, episode 2. We've subtitled this A Drow Family Tale. I am Manny at GrowedUpGeek on your social medias, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. If you like what we do here, give us a like, follow, subscribe, fist bump, high five, anything to show your affirmation. We love the support. With me, not as always, but for the second time in our limited mini-series, we have our amazing cast. We will meet them now. We'll do a quick recap, and then we will jump into episode 2, Family Trip. Let us start. We'll go in birth order just to help it easier. Let us start with our oldest born son. Michael, tell us about Sorn.
So, Sorn, what can be said about Sorn that or hasn't already been said? He is awesomeness in awesomeness, and he's a legend in his own mind. I think that's about right. That's it.
All right.
The greatest drow ever to be born.
I don't think that's a unique feeling amongst drow, but it's probably very true.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Let's slide down to the younger brother. Tenta, tell us about Silah.
I am Tenta. I play Silah. He is the biggest drow ever born. and he is subordinate brother of Sorn and sworn protector of the other two siblings. And he is a very blunt person. He has a very deep voice for a drow, and he would rather fight than talk, and is a professional bite backer of aggression, basically, in order to be in the court situation.
Very good. Maybe we will see some of this later. All right. Now we slide over to... Oh, cool. It does match up. This side of the overlay and
Nice.
the twins. We have the greatest drow, the biggest drow. We move on to probably the most devout drow. G, tell us about Sabiiro.
For sure. Hi. Sabiiro. He's definitely Lulf's special man. And
Special little guy.
special guy. He's not little. He's totally adequate. Let's see. No, he's the third born. And he's really not even supposed to exist at all. He doesn't really care about these other brothers. Who are you? All right, firstborn, secondborn, blah. Paper cup. Useless. Like all other male drow, except for Sabiiro. He sits on that little throne of dung that is the male drow. And but he cares for his twin sister. Pira, they've always, whatever their thing is, not here, not there, doing our own things. Still the twin. So that's about it for now.
All right, fabulous. And all right, if we're doing yearbook superlatives, what do you make Ssapiira as?
Oh man, maybe the weirdest.
Sold. Sold.
Yes.
Tell us about her.
Well, she was kind of lost in the Underdark for a while and made very unusual friends. But she was found by Big Brother Sorn, who brought her back and incorporated her back into the fold. But she does have some special abilities that she learned while she was out, surviving on her own. And she is trying to fit in, but she kind of has some unusual ideas that maybe she brought back with her. But right now she's not focusing on that. She's focusing on all of the drama that has been happening, which has been a lot in the past, few hours.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a late afternoon. All right.
It has been.
So that's our amazing cast. All right, in our premiere episode, we met this noble house, found out that they had made their way in their station in Drow society by being drug dealers, running essentially this. Yep, that's us.
You,
This.
you say that like it's a bad thing.
This
It's just a true thing. That's all it is.
this mushroom
That's all it
based
is.
this
very
mushroom based
lucrative.
drug that they had been taught how to process into an addictive narcotic. They had been called to the cave that their family owns, in which their narcotic starts, and all of the mushrooms had begun to die away by a mysterious, yet to be determined, cause. After being alerted to this and a slight little bit of finger pointing, it became clear that their house was suddenly under attack by the dominant house of Menzo Berenson, House Verger. Yeah,
Still mad about that.
still mad. In this attempt to not only essentially eliminate their entire family, they fought their way out of the property and out into Menzo Berenson in order to regroup and potentially avoid capture by this onslaught. And that's where we left us. And because our group is so amazing, one of them undertook a little project of their own to kind of fill in a little gap here, and we will let him take it away. So G, take it away, please.
Ooh, yeah, awesome. So I used a solo adventurer's guide, solo adventurer's toolbox, the solo adventurer toolbox, and it's just books of tables for all things, including an urban generator. So I figured I could just run this for Sabiiro and the group to see how they would get through the town into the mushroom forest. So that was our last plan. So I rolled like a street by street thing, and first started and ended up or started off rather in an impoverished neighborhood that was too quiet. Like something is up. Something's up. So I rolled on one of the tables is like an oracle table. You can ask it like yes, no questions, and it can give you like no or no but or and or yes and yes and. And so I rolled on this yes, no, the oracle, and asked if it was so quiet because of what's happened to our house, and it rolled yes. So I rolled on a different table of a bunch of verbs, like 300, 500, 800 verbs to get like, some verbs, action items, like what's going on. And I rolled look, badmouth, celebrate, and distill. And so I interpreted that as that this neighborhood that's near us is looking at our house, bad-mouthing us, and celebrating our destruction, our downfall. That's why they like know about this, or they knew about it, or something. They're not surprised. And for the distill aspect of that, I don't know. Maybe they found a way to distill our drug, or distill something else, or something maybe related to that. Creepy. So we moved on and got to sort of an upper middle class part of this neighborhood that was a little bit busier with people milling about, but there was a criminal that was being led through the area. That's one of the things that I got to roll. And so everyone's kind of watching this criminal being led through. And so I rolled on the oracle table. Do we recognize this person? Do we know this person? Yes. Do they work for us, or did they work for us? Yes. Do they see us? Yes. Do they say anything right now about saying, that they see us? No. Is it that former cave manager guy, the mushroom guy that like sold us out? Is that him? Yes. So that was really creepy. We don't know why he would not say anything. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. It could be anything. Certainly ominous. We go on to the next part of this neighborhood, and it is kind of a poor neighborhood, but they got like this market square with a fountain. Those are some of the other things you can roll in this solo adventures guide by Checks Note. Checks Note. Oh wait, this is it. Yeah. Scroll. It's like 200 pages. It's like 300 pages. It's too much. It's by Paul Bimler. It's pretty good.
Is this the same one that Jenny D previewed?
Oh snap! It is. That's where I learned about it.
Okay.
It's like,
yeah, that's
yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. And so in this place, this marketplace, there's like a shady vendor, and he's selling these little baubles that are a pocket dimension that you can like decorate. And okay, cool. But he was like creepy, and so Sabiiro used prestidigitation to give him some like fake coins and bought it. But I rolled some verbs on it because he seemed creepy. So I got enjoy, attack, shove, and falsify. So it seemed like a trap. Like, it seemed like you'd enjoy it, but I don't know, there's some attack, you get shoved in, and it's all fake, and you get sucked into this little portal dimension, demi-plane. Then moved on to let's see, there's a lot of stuff, but not too much. Oh yeah, we saw like a restaurant in like a wealthy neighborhood, and I rolled to see if we went there, and we did.
Gotta eat. We're on the run, but we gotta eat.
I mean, we didn't eat, but we just like walked by. We saw like we reminisced, like, oh, this is the place that we used to go to for the times.
Before we were poor, we didn't have a house.
Oh, we could afford this place.
Before our family was murdered.
They'd open it up just for us.
Shit, remember when we used to be able to eat here because we had money?
And we weren't pariahs.
Do you remember the smells? They're so good. They're so good.
Oh man, that
they had
soup,
the
that
greatest
rock
Rocky.
All right, well, it's all done now.
Downhill from here.
Also, then I went out to one more neighborhood, the last neighborhood. It was another impoverished area, but it had this famously beautiful canal. And Sabiiro was remembering that he visited this place with his ex. He had an ex-girlfriend or whatever person. He was her consort. Yeah. But they broke up. She tried to kill him, but wasn't allowed to because of his specialness. So she got cast out. And so I rolled on the Oracle to see, stuff. I asked if she was there, and it was yes. And I asked if I saw her, and it was yes. And I asked if she saw me, and it said yes. And I asked for like some rolls, and basically she's a beggar now. She's been shunned by her family. She's begging on the street, making little trinkets, like in just despair. But maybe like learning something, tinkering, or I don't know, just being humbled. Like sometimes is a good thing. I imagine this family is about to learn that right now.
Nothing says I don't want to be with you anymore than trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I think that's when they try to kill you, the relationship is not salvageable.
It's not me.
I don't know. You should maybe try again.
There's a chance.
I'm saying
it's absolutely you.
It's absolutely you.
But maybe.
We moved. So, but then I also rolled. Did we say anything to each other? And also, no. So moved on. And we came to the entrance of the mushroom forest, and it was, I guess, guarded or something, or blocked off by this gate and wall. And we couldn't open. Sabiiro couldn't open it. So we tried to break it open, but that alerted some nearby enemy. Don't know if it was. We didn't ask. If it was because we're this family and we need to be killed off, or is it because you're attacking the forest door and we can't have that? So this CR7 ice elemental came out to attack us. We won, obviously. But obviously, and so it had some stuff. It had some good things, like a banishing rebuke, but the wisdom, whatever, failed. And stunning strike and command. It was great for me. And then so the rest of y'all are still trying to like open up the door, trying to figure it out. And, yeah, and Sorn was just over there.
As he does.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, so we
that
get
will never
the
go
gate.
away now.
Oh man, what have I done?
What
have I done? So yeah, that was it. So we open the gate, we get into the forest, and that's where we are.
All right. Thank you very much, man. That was very cool of you to kind of take that initiative, and like it really helped flesh out this thing. Yeah, it was really cool. That's awesome. Thank you. So after banishing this elemental and finally getting the gate open, when was the last time everybody was here, if ever? Sorn, when was the last time you were in the Mushroom Forest?
Oh, the Mushroom Forest? Honestly, I don't think the Mushroom Forest is Sorn's like stomping ground. It's he more inhabits taverns and bars, and things like that. That's how he gets most of his information. So I don't think Sorn has ever been to the Mushroom Forest. So he would know little about it.
Okay. Silah, when was the last time you were here?
The last time I was here was probably hunting. And I've probably hunted through the forest a couple of times.
Okay.
Silah is a pretty avid spear hunter, so.
A couple of weeks, couple of months?
It's been months.
Okay, months.
It's been a while, yeah.
Okay.
Once he started the man-at-arms thing, he's been pretty focused on that.
Very career-oriented. Good for you. All right, Sabiiro, when was the last time you were here?
I would think relatively recently. Looking at the map, it's in between the Drider Forest and the Cathedral, and I think those would be the two places that Sabiiro would be at, so he'd be passing back and forth between them. So he probably cuts through the Mushroom Forest often.
Okay. And then
within the last week for sure.
Okay. Ssapiira, what about you?
I feel like she probably makes excuses to come here because she can't go to where she would actually like to go, being more supervised now and not really able to sneak off on her own. So yeah, she's probably been here about as often as Sabiiro, or made excuses to maybe walk with him back and forth. So yeah, she'd be fairly familiar with it. I think that's one of the reasons why she would suggest it as a place to go.
You didn't come spear hunting with me? That's weird.
I mean, if you invited me.
So
I'd also feel bad for anything that you killed, though.
Yeah.
And have to pretend like she wasn't. It would be awkward.
As you open the gate and kind of proceed into the forest, Silah, you're going to notice, and as well as Sabiiro and Ssapiira, coupled with the information of what you were told in your own cave, a suspicion that you had in your last couple of trips through that the forest didn't look as lush or as healthy as it typically did, is now all but confirmed, as it is noticeable. And not just like amount of density, but large white decayed mushrooms, if we're gonna like rot on fungus. But they look like they're the same as they always would, but they look sickly and gray and white and diseased, and they just, it's not isolated to like a spot or a part of the forest. You make your way through all of the paths. It winds like Central Park, that kind of thing. And you're going to wind your way through, and no matter where you go, it's obvious. Sorn, even for somebody who doesn't go quite often to notice the difference, it is very clear that something is amiss here. a couple minutes making your way through, confirming your suspicions, looking through the, almost totality of it all to see the extent of the damage. Eventually, Ssapiira and Sabiiro, you're going to come to this one little grove where it is one of the few places that has a freshwater spring actually within the city. It's very isolated. Only the people who know this forest well know of it, so it's a very isolated spot. And as you kind of make your way up to it, the clearing looks the same kind of decay and whatever is going on with the mushrooms. And this once clear, like absolutely fresh, cold, delicious spring is suddenly not that.
No.
The water is green. It smells foul. It's got like a little bit of pond scum, like actually like floating on it. And the rocks that make up the bottom of this once clear pool are covered in some sort of algae and vegetation. As you see just the extent all around you of all of the very sick mushrooms contrasted with the ones that, at least for now, still appear healthy.
So these are the liveliest sick mushrooms.
Sorn will look at his baby sister and say, so it's not just our supply of mushrooms. It seems like the whole city has been contaminated. What do you make of it?
I don't know what would cause this. Some kind of disease. Did any of the people look sick coming over? Did anyone notice any of the people looking ill?
I did not see anything. Saba? How do you say Ukulin? Ukulin? Is that how it is? Ukulin.
Onqualin, I think.
Ukulin.
My
Unqualin. Did you notice any of them sickly? Decayed?
Not your Onqualin. Stop calling me that. You're not worthy. But no, I haven't seen anyone sick. This doesn't make sense.
Thank you, my Unqualin.
Walks off.
Salah, my giant of a friend. Did you pay attention enough to see if any of them were decayed? Or died?
We are brothers, not friends.
Big difference.
Also, I am not that large. Anyway, I was not paying attention. I was angry. And all I was thinking about was who would be responsible for such a thing. Would anyone be willing to go to the length of destroying all the mushrooms just to get to our particular house and our product?
It's a good point. That's actually a good point. He made a good point.
Bravo.
Me personally, I am that level of petty, so yes. But that's me personally.
Yeah. See, yeah, there's a bit of me coming out right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I will burn everything down on my way out the door, no problem.
No problem.
So, like, everything about this, you grow up in the Underdark, mushrooms and, fungus and the kind of, climate and habitat that's required for them to flourish like this. You live through it every day. It's not weird to you. And now, you see this ground, this water, these dead mushrooms, most likely the way that like people who live on the surface see this, that it is a sign of like a sickness and something seriously amiss. Ground's like oddly spongy. Everything has this weird kind of like funk.
Is there any like insectoid or
Oh yeah, new kinds of
I don't know
bugs.
if any animals, any bugs, any creatures, anything around that we could point out as perceive. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Survival. I can roll for
So
survival.
you can give me like a perception check. Also, you'll see that the kind of like first kind of layer here. These are all going to be about like knee high. Once you get into the the kind of obviously much larger ones, you'll be able to walk like under those very easily. They're that big. So just like everything's got varying heights and everything. So you can't really see very far in any direction. But if you would all like to give me like a perception check, you want to kind of look up and about.
Do a perception check.
Sabiira's gonna sit down and start ritually casting a spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna just piss away my opportunity to do anything valuable.
24. Why?
Because that's what happened.
Oh no! What'd you get? A natural one?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god!
I did in fact.
So
I got a dirty 24.
Okay, 24.
Did you get a 24?
I did.
I
I
have a
got a 24.
disadvantage on this?
Nice.
Okay, 24. Litza, how long is your ritual?
It'll be 10 minutes.
Okay. Would you all like to spend the entirety of her 10-minute ritual cast like giving like a thorough search, or does everybody just want to kind of go, I don't really see anything?
If we, if we're gonna plan on camping here,
It's 10. I'll take 10.
but then we should. I would walk the environment.
Okay.
Scan the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll take a 10 on the roll. That way I don't have to fucks with it.
Okay. And then your 24, your 24s would also imply like a really thorough search. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's with that?
Right.
Okay.
So
All right. So for 10 minutes, you're familiar with this environment, even if you're not familiar with this part of the city. You've all been out into, the Underdark proper, mushrooms, all this shit, totally normal. You make your way through. As everybody does, you hear like the rustling of like the mushroom equivalent of like the underbrush high up on the stalks and stuff. Just the kind of typical nature, sounds.
Skittering away.
Yeah. Of
Lizards crawling away.
yeah, things going about, staying in their biological lane. And as you do so, you notice that there's a lot more activity, like on the kind of lower tier underbrush of mushrooms, especially kind of up in this area.
Activity. Sabiiro, I guess if he's out wrong page, out and about, he'd be casting dancing lights, just kind of like have the little orbs of light just kind of shoot around as like ways to see a bit better, like flashlight, just kind of going around. Would we go over there, or what could I see? How far do I need to be to?
That's fine. As you do, you can. Is dancing lights on you, or do you kind of cast it at a place?
It's a cantrip that just kind of shoots out like some orbs of light. Let me put a spell button. Come on, some 30 feet, I would imagine. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Dancing lights.
As you kind of cast them, like about
120 feet.
Oh wow, okay.
There's 4 of them, 4 orbs. They're like little torches or glowing orbs.
The movement in this kind of underbrush seems to react to the movement of these orbs, that they seem to deliberately kind of scurry away as the orbs get closer. And you can see like a sudden little shuffle of like the little underbrush fungus as they kind of, and then clearly like take off like in opposite directions to the point where like it's audible. You can hear them. Yeah. And like the mushrooms being pushed aside as they kind of make their way around.
Scatter. Okay. Good. Good. Yes, some critters around.
Mm-hmm.
Are we spending the night here?
Ssapiira's just like, shh.
We will most likely be making camp here.
So the 10 minutes has gone by. Let's say your spell has been cast.
Okay, so she is gonna cast Commune with Nature.
Okay.
And briefly become one with nature. That's what it says. And gain knowledge of the surrounding territory, of the land within 3 miles. It says in caves and other natural underground settings, the radius is limited to 300 feet. So, you know, whatever.
Okay.
But I don't know how you're ruling this.
I was like, yeah, no, we'll go with the original. Nature is still nature, even if it's not the sun. Like that's damn Wizards of the Coast. Come on, that's fucked up. All right.
Anyway. So I think they meant like underground, like dungeon delving underground, not meant to Brandon, but yeah.
Sorry, I got a little feisty there.
So yeah, the spirit versus the letter of the law. But so you instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about the following subjects.
Say 3 or 30?
3 of 5 listed. Yeah,
like 30 facts.
I was like, Jesus, this is like the SATs.
It's like a freaking like my college homework flashbacks.
Right.
List 30 facts about this one Bible verse. God, that was like my homework every day for a semester. Anyway.
That's a certain kind of fun.
Yeah, I don't miss that class. So first I want to know if there are any influences from other planes of existence. Should be an easy one.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Ooh. So you hear Ssapiira go, and she's still like concentrating. And then, okay. Any
even though that while she's doing this, when she gasps, Sorn will be like, "What? What is it? What?"
And she's just like, shh.
Yeah, I'm pulling Sorn back until I can stop bothering her. Stop bothering her.
She's still communing with nature.
You don't understand spellcraft, fool. You know what's going on.
Oh, snap, yeah.
I don't know if there are any powerful elementals, fae, fiends, celestials, or undead.
Within 3 miles?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
I mean, mostly I want to know, like,
who knows?
Yeah, I guess.
You know,
that's pretty broad.
Hold on, let me.
Actually,
I'm ready. This is gonna be a good list. No, this is a good list. Let's see. How many celestials are in Minzel Baranzan right now? That might be a good thing to know.
It's actually might be more trouble than it's worth. Because I'm like, I want to know if there are any in this forest. And it's like, well, there are 2 in the entire Underdark. And I'm like, well, that doesn't fucking help.
Okay. One more time.
Celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead. And it specifically says powerful. And that's kind of, I mean, up to like DM discretion. Whatever you consider powerful.
It's just one huge.
I'm not easily
like 30 feet away.
I'm not easily impressed. So no.
Right.
Hold on.
Yeah. So what do you got, Manny?
Okay.
Powerful compared to us, I guess.
So within
But us, or he's me?
I don't
within
know.
3 miles, something on that list is present.
Okay.
That's unsettling that is true.
Okay.
Just one?
Knowing the DM, it's probably a Draco Lich.
Yeah, she looks disconcerted, but that's not like specific enough.
Knowing him, there is something meaning many
Yeah.
things, like Legion is
Right.
many.
No, it's some legion. Eh.
Yeah.
A legion is singular.
It's a legion of death tyrants. It's a legion of death tyrants. Good job, guys.
And then
One.
and then she'd like to know the location of major sources of safe drinking water.
It's like I just closed out the map. Hold on. Once again, within 3 miles.
Yeah.
I mean,
So mostly like so also wondering like, is this one safe to drink? And if not, like where would one be?
clean water.
So that's the main point of that question, I guess.
Seems like an important.
One of the questions is like, where are buildings? But it's like, well, I know the answer to that one.
Okay.
Like-
So it can give you more than like a yes or no answer. Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's supposed to, I mean, it's a 5th level spell. It's supposed to be
Okay.
pretty like,
It's going to give you all the signs of pointing to, as it kind of gives you the vague kind of oracle kind of symbolism
Right.
before it hits, you piece it all together. You're going to see the greatest building in all of Menzo Berenzon, the former house of the former dominant family, House Bainray, that has since been converted to a temple of Lolth by the current dominant house as a way of bringing Drow society together under the worship of Lolth as opposed to played against each other for her favor.
That does not sound very Drow society like, but we'll go with it.
so that's the only major source of clean drinking water I sense.
Yes.
Okay.
To the church.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a bummer.
To hoard it.
So Ssapiira will open her eyes and she will relay that information first. She'll first point at the lake and be like, that is not safe to drink. The only major source of safe drinking water is at the Temple of Lolth,
It's a temple.
controlled by, and she lists the name that I've already forgotten. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But then she'll say, I did sense some sort of powerful, not humanoid creature somewhere, either in Menzo Berenzon or nearby. And I also sense some sort of influence from another plane of existence that I believe may be at play here. But what it is, I don't know.
Lolth's on another plane, right?
Yeah, the
Typically,
demon
yes.
pits. No, the spider pits. Or is it the spider pits?
The abyss, yes.
Yeah.
So, that should be expected if Lolth's presence is here.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
It's
Hopefully
evidence
that's
the
all
fact
it
I'm
is.
still alive.
By the way, Silah
the
starts
question I have
casting
you-
a spell.
Okay.
I would see what do.
The question I have for you is this Loth based? Is she causing chaos in her own city? I don't think that's something she would do, but I would not put it past her.
Actually, Lolth is all about chaos. That's her whole deal.
I know. You have told me multiple times.
So you're wrong. It is chaos. It is Loth. So this is Loth's
Maybe
way.
it is Loth, but I don't think so. I don't know. You are the expert.
Mm. I would need to talk to the high priestess. The high priest, not the high priestess. Sorry, sister. The high priest at the Temple of Loth. Where there's water.
So maybe we should go there because I know you want to.
Kind of have to find out why would this happen to our house from the main house? It doesn't make any sense. How is this Loth's plan? We need to find out.
We will find out. But I do not know if the mushrooms dying or decaying and the dominant house trying to take over are connected. I do not know if they're connected yet.
Yeah. It does seem strange
They
to
may
ruin
too.
the forest.
If House Veregi wanted to take us over, do you not think that they would want the mushroom supply to be intact?
Right. Yes.
Does it seem like the proper thought process to destroy what makes our house valuable?
Yes.
They'd be totally destroying our house. Maybe they don't care about our value.
Why would they care?
Maybe.
Monetary funds mean nothing over blood.
Salah, you were right in a certain extent. At the same time, if the House Veregi wanted to rise in prominence, then there has to be some monetary rise.
They were already the dominant house. It doesn't make any sense.
They would sell our possessions and our bodies.
Well, they said it wasn't the matron, but the general. I remember that. So
it seems odd that the generals would take action without direct commands from the matron.
Maybe he
That's
did.
not how it works. That's what I'm saying.
they could have just asked
The
us to
matron
join
had
them.
to know.
Maybe she didn't. These are
Maybe
things
we
we should
pissed
find
somebody
out.
off.
Perhaps.
Oh,
And I'm saying he's like Sabiiro's like, folding his hand, like looking at you two guys, brothers. I mean, firstborn, secondborn. What are you doing? Did
My
you bring
ring
this
light.
upon our house?
I've done nothing. I've
I
done
have
nothing
brought
but
nothing
bring
on this
honor. And I've fixed most everything Sorn has brought.
Yeah, we are pretty badass.
We are. Don't forget that. Also, for some reason, my ring light just went and died. So.
I thought
I'll
you
be
were being
right back.
dramatic and hitting like a stealth check. I'm like, you still got to roll for it, homie. It's very convincing, but you still have to roll.
You can't see me now.
Yeah, I'm so good at stealth in my adamantine full plate. I'll be right back.
Shadowy clang, shadowy clang.
Ssapiira's going to start casting another 10 minutes. This one's not a ritual, though. It just actually takes 10 minutes to cast.
I was gonna stand there and wave my arms. It's not like a whole thing. I don't have to get candles or incense or anything.
It's just, no, I have to touch a full 90 feet of the casting space. So she's just going to start like walking around.
Are you gonna like Naruto run like around in a circle to get like 90 feet? You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Just cast some
basically.
spell?
Or you could ride your broom, just kind of
Rider broom.
Kiki's
Yeah.
Do do
Yeah.
donuts. Like just do
Street
broom donuts.
Yeah, we'll splash
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
goo around.
Right. Yeah. They're ritual.
Do
I'm
not
always
get it
ignoring
on me
ritual
and my
components.
jacket.
Yeah,
Do not
yeah.
get that nasty stuff on me and my jacket.
Oh, yeah. I need like,
Well, actually, no, Sabiiro didn't care.
Oh,
I need some mistletoe. Yeah, so I'm like sprinkling mistletoe everywhere, but it's not for kissing purposes. Don't get the wrong idea.
Sorry.
Gross, you guys.
No, it ain't like that, bro.
I was like, suddenly this is
Poisonous?
the Targaryen family dynasty.
I know, right?
That spell that I started casting has probably come to fruition by now.
Fantastic.
A little white box, like cube, appears in my hand. I kind of flick it around and throw it out, and whoosh, Leomund's tiny hut.
Nice.
Now we can sleep for real.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure that that's inside of my spell space.
Yeah, anywhere you want me to throw it. I mean, yeah.
I'll be done soon.
Let me see. I don't have I was like, do I have a tiny hut token? No.
You want your own tiny hut? Is that how this is gonna be?
No, I just like I wanted to see if I had like a tiny hut token. I don't.
Well, the tiny hut we can hide in.
I was like, I
thought Sabiiro was looking to see if he had a tiny hut too.
I have a wagon.
Doesn't have that.
Nice.
It's a wagon on.
We all have our own individual tiny huts.
They're all like those little tiny homes.
No, I do not have a tiny hut. I do not have a tiny hut.
All right, I'm gonna put that on.
Like, I don't want to sleep in your tiny hut. I'm gonna sleep in my tiny hut over here.
Mine's decorated to my preferences, so maybe you don't want
exactly. Yeah.
There's a bunch of animal heads and shit all over the wall.
I have mine exactly the way I like it.
All right, so is that?
I am not sleeping in that thing. I can see Sabiiro saying that.
All right, so did you both like for real cast tiny hut or what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I for real cast Leomund's tiny hut.
That's freaking awesome.
Okay. You guys gonna have like twins cabin and like brothers cabin and be like rival camps across the pond.
Throw snowballs at each other.
No, they have to be.
Balls.
No, I'm casting Druid Grove, and it's gonna be fucking badass.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and it lasts for 24 hours. Yeah, no, mine is 90.
Good.
Mine is a 90-foot cube, so I'm just gonna make sure that your Leomund's tiny hut is in there somewhere. Just gonna be badass.
Silah would still miss you. Want to
leave the door open.
His little hut.
Yeah, just leave the door open.
Yeah, no, it's like gonna be awesome. It's just we're just gonna have
cat in a box.
I can animate. I can animate up to 4 trees. Can I just animate some giant mushrooms?
Sure.
Fucking yeah, you're the greatest.
That is some good DM powers.
Yeah, so they're gonna be guardians. Okay, this is all the shit it does. Check this out. I can specify creatures as friends who are immune to the effects. So obviously it's going to be my 3 brothers. And then dispel magic removes only one of the following effects, not the entire area.
Oh, wait,
and only layers? When all the effects are gone is the spell dispelled.
I thought it was like 1.
Yeah, and I get to choose which effect to end. It's not even random.
Whoa.
So any number of 5-foot squares is filled with thick fog, making them heavily obscured. It reaches 10 feet high, and every foot of movement costs 2 feet extra. So, but if you're immune, it just the fog doesn't obscure anything, and it just looks like soft mist with motes of green light floating in it. There's also some grasping undergrowth that appears on the ground that's not filled with thick fog. And it's grasping weeds and vines as if affected by an entangle spell, and to a creature immune to the effect, the weeds and vines feel soft and reshape themselves to serve as temporary seats or beds. So it's going to be like ringed with like a shit ton of thick fog, but then on the inside, I'm going to make like some like seats and shit for us to sit. Yeah, so we're going to have like a lounge area.
Nice.
We're
like
also going to have
conversation pit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but to everyone else, it's going to be like tangle vines. If they get that far. And we're gonna have 4 Grove Guardians.
There you go. Done.
Our bodyguards.
They're gonna fight intruders. And then I can have spike growth in one location of my choice. And wind wall in 2 locations of my choice.
Wow.
I do have
immune.
This is a 6-level spell.
I know.
Damn.
If
That's great.
you're immune, the area of spike growth is harmless, and the winds are a fragrant, gentle breeze.
Ooh,
There's your
oh,
spike.
nice.
There's your spiked growth. Those are assassin vines. I do have a token for that. What else you got?
This is
We got
the
a
coolest
hut.
spell.
Oh, let's put
You got a
in there.
hut token?
I told you I don't. I got a
there's-
wagon.
And there's just a
Oh,
little
no.
hut, and there's just like a little hut in there next to our social gathering pit.
Nice.
Yeah. We're tricked out, you guys. I told you I was
Family
gonna
kill,
I
yes.
told you we'd be cool.
Dang.
Yeah.
This is really nice, Pira.
Damn it.
Oh, thanks. I
You've
mean, the
outdone
hut was all
yourself.
the hut was all Silah, so
Oh,
I
the
can't
huts
take
are great.
I can't take all the credit.
It's
Okay.
clapping again, isn't it?
All right. So, all right.
Excellent
So
job,
you have
baby girl.
like an
Excellent
undergrowth.
job.
You have an undergrowth of death. 4 like mycated titans.
Yeah.
A little pond front like tiny home. So.
So they'll just travel with us, right? They'll just go with us.
So okay. Everything settles in, and even after your animated, what's the deal with the mushrooms? Or the
I think
trees?
they have to stay. They have to stay in the area. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But,
Okay, and we'll just
yeah,
go
but
ahead.
they'll
And
still fight for us.
we'll just go ahead and assume it's the whole grove, like all
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
clearings.
it's.
Yeah. I have no idea how
Yeah.
big it is. But yeah, so everything kind of settles in. Your underbrush of death springs forth from the kind of sickly ground. Your 4 giant animated mushroom myconid guards like lumber their way to the entrance. Silah's little tiny hut, nice, faces right on the water. Little rocking chairs on the porch, railing to put your feet up. Just kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
1 chair, much larger than everybody else's for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And even after all these things kind of settle in, does anything like physically happen to like the place? Like, do the mushrooms get better, or you just made it not dangerous for you, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So no, I'm not able to do anything healing
Okay.
to them. Yeah, they're just protecting us right
Okay.
now.
So you just made this place awesome for you, but didn't like improve like the quality of it in any way.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's
yeah.
bad for everyone else. No, it's bad for
It like
everyone.
sucks
It's
all the
really bad
resources
for
that
everyone
weren't
else.
hardly
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
This is very much the nicest part of this place, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
All right.
But we could stay here for a while if we had to.
Everything sets up. You still notice the kind of rustling in the underbrush out in the kind of away from the clearing. But otherwise, everything kind of settles in. Even like off, along the trail into the forest, at large. You don't hear anything abnormal. It just seems kind of like a quiet, almost night in the mushroom forest.
That's when Sorn will look at Sabiiro. Everything's quiet down and say, "So the plans are to go to the temple."
Yes, the plans are to go to the temple. We have to find out what's going on. Well, I need to find out what's going on. How much of this is lost plan?
Then we will go in 2 separate ways. I think you and I will go, since I can make myself, and I think Salah should stay with our sister or follow behind us at a short pace. That way, she is
Near each
protected
other.
because yes, but we're not on top of each other at the same time. That way, we can make it seem. If 2 of us, we can still get to the other 2, but at the same time, it's going to be harder to get all 4 of us at one shot.
Well, we have our little communication badges. I think that's a good idea. 2 of us are inside and 2 of us are nearby.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't realize you were here. You were listening. Oh, sorry. Hey.
Just turn around staring at my chest. Yeah, I'm listening.
So, yes. Always there, Silah.
Always there. How does that sound to you, sister?
I'll just kind of turn. Like, look.
Good plan. We need to find out what's happened.
And why us?
Yes. I mean, was anybody doing anything to piss anyone off?
We are
don't
either
think
bound
so.
for greater things or bound for doom. We shall see what side of the coin we land on.
As soon as Salad says that, just in particular, Sorn's gonna kind of roll his eyes, just like, oh,
You
Lord.
hate that I accept finality, and you're like, God damn.
No, just like, oh man, okay, not poke, not drawn out, just like, oh God, I hate when he says stuff like that.
Well, I mean,
So
he's
that's our
right.
plan.
Yeah, he's right. It's either going to be good or really good or really bad.
Yep.
Really
It's
good,
either
really
good or
yeah.
really bad. Yeah.
It's D&D, so I'm guessing it's probably easier to assume which one it's going to be. But hey,
Oh, that's a good point.
It
Yeah,
might
this
not
isn't
be.
like, oh hey, now we're the rulers of the town, and we get all the stuff.
Happy fun
and blah,
time
blah.
unicorn
Oh,
drow
that
campaign.
would be a
Fun
great
times.
campaign.
Yeah, I'm gonna open up a shop. Makes
Drow life simulator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just,
Sounds like a
Sabiiro-
game I would run.
Sabiiro, how's
You
that
guys are
profit
talking
and
about
loss
it.
going for this
Taking the
month?
dogs for a walk. Or whatever they call it, the renders for a walk.
roll the athletics to
Just
scoop
for
up
a
the
walk.
dog poop without
The
hurting
giant
yourself.
lizards.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Or at least
Dexter.
oversee the person that is taking the renders for a walk.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Read
So
the newspaper, flip it out. Oh, the draw stock market is down again.
it's getting to be like evening, night-ish. You've had a full day. Your grove lasts 24 hours, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. If I mean,
How long does the hut last?
9.
It's
9
okay.
hours.
If it disappears, we can just sleep on the vine beds.
Little, yeah,
Can-
little.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Can we see Narbuncle? Is it Narbuncle?
the
Narbel?
the light.
Yeah, the clock,
Yeah.
the clock, the
Yeah.
clock tower.
It burns from top to bottom, like full, like early in the
Yeah.
day, and then as it gets later in the day, you can see it, but the light is very much below. It is the tallest structure in the city, so the light has sunk below, the kind of general height of
Yeah.
things, the forest and everything. So that would tell you it's like getting later on in the evening. And because it is the source of light, as it were, in the town, it is starting to get noticeably like dark.
Okay. I think we need to take a rest. I think that is priority one. Let's get some rest. We have a plan in place. We have a tactical strategy in place. I think for right now that we need to rest, recuperate, and take a rest, because tomorrow I don't know what will happen, but we will go forth.
If we're going to rest for the night, then I'd like to try to see what I can do about this grove.
I think you should see what you can do about this grove, but at the same time, do not let it cost you your own. We do not need you to be exhausted tomorrow.
I won't be exhausted.
Okay.
Just wanna
Mechanically,
use.
yeah, you're gonna cast it before like the long rest begins, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
So I
That's all I know.
Have a think. Yeah.
Before the hut disappears, I'm gonna go sleep in it.
Yeah.
Get my
Yeah.
money's worth.
Enjoy my bed.
Huh?
Get my money's worth.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. That's my spell. Go to sleep.
Get my slots
gonna-
worth.
Let me see. I'm going to focus on some of the diseased looking plants
Uh-huh.
and cast Dispel Magic at 5th level. Just to see what happens.
Cool idea.
I was like, wow, I don't know why I don't know why that was hard to process.
I'm not sure if it's going to do anything because it kind of depends if they're actually being, affected by a spell. Yeah, if we're going to bed, I don't see a reason not to. So that's what I'm going to do.
As you touch it, you're just gonna reach out and just boom, like palm on the stalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's 120 feet, but
Um,
yeah, I'll go ahead.
Okay. And
Yeah.
choose. Okay, choose one. Any lower on the target spell ends for the higher. Okay, you're fine. So it's one mushroom as it reads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just like one of the big ones,
Okay.
just so I can try to see what happens to it.
You're gonna see it go from this kind of fibrous, very like sickly looking. You of all of the siblings is gonna have an idea of what a healthy mushroom is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And as if like a black and white painting gets like watercolor, it's just gonna hit from a moment and then just all the way out, and not only become healthy again, to the standards of the other mushrooms around, but the kind that you would put in a textbook. Like, it looks amazing. It is healthy. It is all the signs. Gills nice and big, little furls under, stalk nice and thin. Like, everything about it suddenly is instantly healthier.
Well, I'm gonna need a lot more spell slots.
This is gonna take a while.
It's the next few years.
Yeah.
But then you would
Right.
save the forest. Think how thankful they would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the way I read this is that mushroom is good to go now, right? Like, it's not like you walk away or 2
I mean,
days
yeah,
from now.
unless somebody
Comes-
curses it again, I
Okay.
guess.
You stay safe, you mushroom bastard. So yeah, and it's so large and it's so healthy and such a contrast to the entire forest and this grove in particular, that this like really kind of fresh woody smell suddenly kind of hangs over this smell of like decay and like sickness and corruption. It smells like a wet tree after it rains. A very significant descriptor of like a very healthy wild mushroom is that woody smell. This is so healthy and so large that like it overcomes everything else going on here and adds just a little bit a nicer element to your already fabulous and safe Druid Grove.
Are we out seeing this, or are we all to bed?
I'm in bed, personally.
It's up to you. I was gonna do it right away. So yeah, unless you decided to like turn in immediately, there's no reason why you couldn't hang around and see it.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So we'd see that and be like,
All right, I'll
good.
watch for that and then.
Oh. Good work, Pira. What'd you do?
I just tried dispelling any magical effect. I guess this means that some sort of magic is affecting everything. I mean, I would have assumed it was a disease, but I mean, this means it's magic. Someone is cursed.
Curse the land.
Yeah. I mean, we need to find the source of this. I can't dispel magic on every single mushroom in this forest. That's impossible.
I'll be back tomorrow.
See you then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use a third level. Well, I'll attempt. I guess depending on what level spell was used, I'm gonna try to use a third level and a fourth level spell slot, because that's what I've left. To heal 2 of the animated mushrooms.
Okay.
Do I need to roll for that, or is that sufficient?
No. I imagine they're not gonna resist. I mean, they're not gonna argue with anything you do. If you approach them, they're just gonna be like, "Cool, I wonder what she wants."
Oh, yeah. Because it more depends on what level spell is affecting them. If it's strong enough to dispel it.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to see them go from, animated and still well constructed and healthy guardians to, kind of examples of the previous mushroom that you healed, and they're going to look like really buff and fit. Big, thick up through the bottom. And just go from this kind of, like aggressive guard. I would rather fight something that comes this way to an air of, I genuinely care about your well-being and want to protect you.
Leave it to a shroom to be empathic.
They're even gonna push the kind of the ones that you didn't get to, like, out of the way and stand like in the entrance to the grove.
And keep an eye on them too. Keep an eye on the other ones.
I mean, mushrooms would surprise you. They can actually be quite intelligent and communicative.
That's weird.
Communicative? Me and Silah are just like,
Yeah.
Shrug.
Big word.
Is there anything else anybody would like to do before you settle in for your rest?
No.
Nope. We're all good? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll settle in for a long rest. This seems like the absolute perfect time to take our little mid-show break. It is 11:22 p.m. We'll take about a 10-minute break, and we will be right back, fully rested, full spell slots in this mushroom groove with a much big property improvement over the last couple of hours. So to everybody watching, thank you, and to all of my players, as always, all of you guys, thank you for being here. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll hope to see you then. I lost my cursor. There it goes. Sorry. We'll be back. Boom, boom. All right, we are back from our real life short rest and our party having taken an actual long rest. So the morning comes, you sleep undisturbed your night in the lovely, very much upgraded grove. Some new heal mushrooms, some amazingly healthy and robust thick boy mycetid guardians protected you through the night. The more noble ones pushing out the kind of sickly, apathetic ones to really stand guard and protect you. As the morning comes, Silah, your hut's going to kind of, slowly fade. Good night sleep.
Yep.
Okay.
I imagine I slept pretty well.
All right. You watch your sister hear some mushrooms, and you're like, all right, well, that's it for me.
Our house just burned down, but yeah, right.
Hey man, I have
this place is nice.
That rage just emotionally drains you.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's true.
Discipline 8 hours. All right. So as you get up, prepare to head to the temple, Sorn, anything you would like to do in the morning before you head out?
No, I think dust off, go over in my head once again, and then try to figure. I think the most important thing he would try to do is figure out what he's going to look like.
Okay.
He doesn't know if he's going to be a cleric, like his sibling, or if he will take an underling role, like be like an escort guard or something of
I
that
didn't think of
nature.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I'm really thinking, that he would be an escort guard, so he doesn't really
like that.
stand out.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
You know.
Silah, anything as
Okay.
your hut kind of fades and you wake up, big stretch, like big cat stretch, like the whole nine.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to do in the morning?
Yeah, before I get my armor on, when I'm just wearing basically my boxers and my boots, I go into my morning fitness routine and then fastidiously oil my sword and then get a campfire going. And I just launched right into that morning routine, you
I
know?
thought you were gonna like oil yourself up. I was like, all right, man.
No, dude. And I mean, this is at night, but it's not at night.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, your circadian rhythms are like non-existent.
yeah.
Can I amend one thing to my morning routine? And that would be looking at Salah as he's doing his ritual and just once again going, oh my God. As he's doing his,
Crushing
just like,
push-ups.
oh.
You're
Yeah.
like eating cookies and being embarrassed that I'm there.
like crushing push-ups. You're like having the mic and it's like stand on your back while you do push-ups.
Yeah,
Hey,
they're
bro,
trying
can
to
I get a
hold me
spot?
down and I'm all.
Resistance training. Thanks, bro. Good spot. They're like hella encouraging too. They're like patting you on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it, bud. You can do
Making
it.
sure you rest,
Four more
giving you
reps,
symbols to
four more.
drink. Make sure you stay hydrated. All right, Sabiiro, getting ready to go to the temple, kind of your thing here. How you feeling, and what are you doing in the morning?
He's probably a bit nervous. He's also probably praying. He probably has like a, I don't know, little morning check-in with his deity Lolth. And if it's probably dawned on him through the night that Lolth is a demon of chaos, and this is pretty chaotic. But so he's going to try to find out what. So he's probably praying.
Okay.
So I don't know what kind of connection he would have as a cleric for Lolth and as a sorcerer of Lolth, from Lolth.
Give me a religion check. You proficient in religion?
Something I did. Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. I played a lot of games with religious people that are like, you take proficient in religion? Nope.
Nope.
Eight total.
It's not my bag, man.
Your connection as it exists in your everyday like life and prayer to Lolth is still there. You still feel that connection. It hasn't been severed. And even though this moment seems like especially tense, you do come away from your morning prayer a little bit more at ease than perhaps you thought you would be.
I still sense the connection. Ah, yes. He's probably feels that familiar feeling, and takes comfort that, and I guess starts gathering and getting ready to leave with the group to the cathedral.
Probably feeling a little bit more confident.
Yeah, feeling a bit more confident. Like, okay, no, I am still Lolth's chosen man. Yes, chosen man. Whatever.
That's the way you need to say it. From now on, I am Lolth's chosen man.
Or something like that. And so he's fine. So he's sure. Let's go to church.
All right. And then Ssapiira, you leaving this little grove glow up that you've kind of created here. This nice little spot. Your little guardian.
Not leaving quite yet.
Okay.
First, I'm making breakfast.
Okay.
Not because I'm the girl, but because I have a really cool
Best.
spell.
Okay.
I mean, I made the fire. You might as well do stuff with it.
Exactly. I am going to
Teamwork.
take Yeah, exactly. Again, teamwork. We work so well together. I am casting Hero's Feast.
Nice.
So it actually makes a lot of food. It would take 1 hour for 12 people to eat all of it. And you all are going to eat. So everybody sit down and eat this breakfast that I just made.
Okay.
I love you all. No, fucking eat.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're all, okay.
Sure,
okay.
sure.
And
Yes, matron.
everyone is cured of all diseases and poisons, which I know you're all fine, but you also become immune to poison and being frightened. And for 24 hours, you're going to make all wisdom saving throws with advantage. And everyone's hit point maximum increases by 2d10, and you gain the same number of hit points.
What?
So eat up.
Nice.
Roll.
What the
6 and a
fuck?
1.
Yeah, it's a 6th level
So
spell.
you-
So eat your
That's what
breakfast.
that does, huh?
Snap.
You
I've
said
not been
it
able to
would
pull
take
it off.
You said it would take an hour
7.
for 12
I
people
know.
to eat
I
it.
could do the math in my own head. I know exactly how much food that is.
Yeah, you're talking
Oh,
to Manny,
wow.
the caterer. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally know exactly how much food that is. I actually have to do it
How
next
long?
Friday for a bridal brunch. So yes, I know exactly how much food that is.
I love you so much.
How long is it gonna take Silah to eat it?
Yeah, I was like, plus I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I imagine you're
Not
quite
that
the.
hard.
I was like, I've seen what the mountain eats, bro. Like, dude, like puts away like 800 calories like in like 30
Yeah,
minutes.
that's exactly.
Like, oh. All right, so
YouTube videos of these bodybuilders
yeah,
like eating.
strongmen are even better because they give
Oh,
zero
yeah.
fuck about their fat content. Them boys are straight calories.
Yeah,
Yes.
just pure fuel, dude.
Yeah, look.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and they're like overeating by like 11 o'clock in the morning. They're like, God, this sucks.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
to eat like 9 more times today.
Yeah, right. They're like, oh, I'm so tired of eating.
Yeah, bro, it's 11:30. I'm on meal number 6. Fuck. So everybody has this amazing like breakfast. You feel great. You literally feel better than you felt yesterday. You've had a nice little kind of family vacation. Oh, cool. I call this episode Family Trip. Isn't that nice how that worked out?
Yeah, you could charge for this, Pira. You could make some. This would be a good little spot.
Oh, thank you.
New family biz after the drug thing falls apart. We're going into the
Caterers.
hospitality industry, which is the same as being drug dealers. We offer you a good
Basically
time.
the same thing.
Yeah. We're Vice.
Yeah. Look, man, we're here for a good time, not a long time. So you have this amazing breakfast. Even your Myconin Guardians, they take a little bit, look pretty even like more robust
Sure, why not?
and impressive, and eventually set off through the forest. And whether it's true or not, whether it's because it's daytime versus a little later in the day when you arrived, the forest almost looks worse. The dead spots and the amount of the sick mushrooms almost outnumber like the healthy ones.
Do the healthy ones look like they're decaying too now? The ones that she healed?
No, everything in the grove still good to go. It's just as you make your way like out of the forest towards the roads in the city. Like I said, it could just be that it's the daytime and you can see everything clearly, or it could be that it's deteriorating that fast. And as you make your way out into the streets, a little, the 10 o'clock-ish era of the morning, the streets, as you make your way out, are especially busy. Like lines, just all the way down, not just, congested little blocks and streets here and there, but just a steady flow of drow, all heading in one direction, which is going to be, I'm sorry, is this one? Yeah. Everything's going to seem to be heading towards, like the center part of the city, like up towards this direction.
And we're the only ones going the other way.
Oh, great. Now we have to fight everyone.
So everything's
We-
gonna.
I bet you.
Everything
I bet
seems
you
to be
they're
going
all
this
heading
way.
to the bazaar.
Do we
They're
know
all
why?
heading to
Is
the
it Bazaar
bazaar.
Day?
It must be.
As you kind of make your way towards the temple, it's the biggest building in the city, raised up on high ground, easily defensible. You can see it off in the not too distance, and as you see your way, the path that winds up to its elevated position, Sabiiro, you would kind of recognize as normal kind of temple traffic, people coming and going as they were. This seems very normal, but as far as everything else goes, everything seems to be headed like towards the city. And as you make your way through the streets, it's very clear that everybody is going the wrong or the different direction than you are. What would you all like to do in this like constant like throng of people?
Sorn will be not actively eavesdropping. Well, actively eavesdropping. He'll be listening to conversations as they go by him, trying to pick up any meaningful information that he could get or hear, or maybe something will stick out to him that he, that will resonate with him. Like, oh, did you hear about the house Sun Talar? Did you see what happened? Stuff like that.
Okay. Give me a perception check. We'll go around and then we'll come back. So give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 27.
Okay. All right. Silah, you being taller than everybody else are going to have a different perspective on the kind of traffic in the street. Standing, almost like a head above everybody else, you're going to see as far as the street and its layout where it curves and kind of goes out of distance. You're going to see almost everybody just as far as you can see headed in the direction towards kind of like the city square.
In which I am headed the opposite.
Yes. But you can kind of like, you don't have to like just be going against the tides, there's ways of like, kind of crossing over.
I don't have to mosh through.
Yeah.
But I am keeping, I'm keeping my little sister like in mosh protect mode.
Okay.
Where you do the one hand around them, and then the other hand is just waiting to take my sword out of the sheath and start waving green fire all over everyone.
Okay.
And I'm just giving the most. You can't see my eyes because of my Anubis helm, but like I'm focused on her safety above all.
Okay. Sabiiro, temple's in sight, a familiar, probably safe space for you. And you are in, like I said, a throng of people just kind of making their way clearly for something. You've probably made your way to the temple at this time before. It's never this many or going in this like uniform direction.
Something big is happening. This isn't the normal like, oh, it's Wednesday, everyone's at the bazaar.
Yeah, no. Because some people at this point would be probably coming back from the bazaar, having gone early, so there'd be a little more this. Whatever everybody is going to something and not yet on the return from it.
Sure. I think then this would make it even better to go to the temple, the cathedral, because then there'd be less people if they're all leaving that place, and we can find out.
I think we should split up.
Okay.
Ooh, she said those
Wait
words.
a minute now. Wait a minute.
Where would you like to go?
I'd turn around right in the middle of everyone. Wait a minute now.
Yeah, it was like turn around, pause. What?
Sabiiro wants to go to the temple, but I also think we should figure out what's going on with all these people. So why don't we do both?
Why do we not ask one? I'm gonna reach over and grab one of the people that's going the opposite direction and yank him off his feet and bring him over here.
We startled.
Sapiira's gonna like to slip into a shadow real quick.
Oh God! What? Don't hurt me.
Then answer question.
Well,
where are you going?
You don't know?
No.
The execution
Of
the traitors to the city? Have you not heard about this? This is like the biggest thing in town.
I've been busy hunting.
Huh.
What's going on?
The matron mother caught some traitors to the entirety of the drow race, and they're going to be punished. They're going to be sacrificed to Lolth as a sign of her devotion and their wretchedness. Get the fuck off me.
Heretics. I'll let him go.
Okay. I'm like,
Get out of here, bitch.
like straighten up.
A drow, I don't know.
Even for a drow, I thought that was kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
He was like, bro, we cooperated together.
You snatched me, man.
Yeah. It was uncalled for, but that's the best drow
What's with the harsh
interpretation.
language?
It's the best drow interpretation I could come up with.
I don't know how to be mean on the spot.
Yeah, dude, it was really tough.
Ssapiira is gonna come back out of the shadows, but this time she's a giant lizard, and the only way you can tell it's her is because she still has like the earring of message in her ear. Everything else has been like absorbed by the druid wild shape. And she's not like as big as a riding lizard, like maybe a child could ride her, but she's small enough that she just climbs onto Silah's back and just hangs on there like a giant backpack, and then like flicks a tongue like by his ear.
Let's just keep kind of like reflexing to the side. Not responding, but just reflexing over and over again.
I have like a mecha raptor token.
Fantastic.
Wow,
I
okay.
Token too, it's great.
That's some left field token.
Was that yours?
There.
Maybe.
From the prison thing?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Okay. All right. Yes, because it's above Litza's tokens from that show as well.
Snap.
So
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
so that would be you. So you have G's like Mecha Raptor from another show.
Nice.
Nice.
Comes full circle. Okay, so I mean, for scale, like big
iguana.
Yeah, like big iguana, like I said, like a raptor. So you're like a
technically
like a chicken.
Technically, it's a large beast, but we're gonna say medium. We're talking like a crocodile Loki.
Love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
God, perfect. Cool. So like fits in a baby pool and like hangs out and hisses at people. Still got the badass crown. Perfect.
Exactly.
Absolutely
right.
know that.
Yes.
Croaky was absolutely my spirit animal
just
for
on
like
your
3
back.
weeks
Yeah.
last year.
All Yoda style.
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. It's exactly right.
All right. So we've had the Marvel crossover that this D&D campaign needed from the jump. We got it out of the way in episode 2. Great. All right. So Ssapiira now Crocodile Loki, Druid Drow. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Silah is the guard from Stargate. We've got that going for us.
Teal'c.
Yeah.
They had the Anubis mask, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like
great.
Yeah.
That was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I do it too.
Okay.
Watch that movie. I want to rewatch that movie now.
So
Yeah, me too. I really want to.
Yeah. Okay. So in what seems to be a sudden change of plan, Ssapiira would like to go see the execution with her noble bodyguard while the two brothers continue on to the temple.
Yes. And
Wait,
if we're going to do Marvel crossovers, I would be Wolverine. just because of the claws.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And the sass.
Yeah,
Yep.
the sass and the
Venom
claws.
thing, yeah.
Yep. If you want, I can start saying bub all the time.
Okay. So don't we think that this is maybe? Are we included in these traders? Do we know this?
I have assumed at this point that they are referencing us.
I've
If it's
also
to the
assumed that.
contrary, I've not seen it. So I'm going to just assume that I'm not going to tell anybody that I am a
You might want to take
what?
that identifying Anubis helmet
Oh.
off.
You think I should take
Just
it down
saying.
for now? At least?
Take it down for now,
Maybe,
because
You like hunch
it
a
is.
little bit.
It,
maybe cloak
yeah,
up
it,
instead.
it marks you. It
Yeah.
kind of marks you.
It is pretty cool. It's like too cool
It's
almost
cool.
at this point.
Yeah, it
Too
was
cool for school,
definitely cool. All right. I'll bring it down. And then throw a cloak over my head and be like, this is terrible. This is
Just be big.
bullshit.
Seriously.
You just hear this like deep guttural.
No, you're just a
Coming out of it.
giant.
Yeah. I'm bent way over too, so it's like labored and
You know.
My back's killing me.
yeah.
So there's a giant lizard on him.
All right.
Yeah.
And you have the lizard on your shoulder.
Yeah. Not light and long claws.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, all right. So we're gonna split here.
No.
No.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We're gonna split? We're gonna split? Literally gonna split the party?
We're splitting.
Hey, you
We're
know what?
splitting.
Hey.
You tell me we're gonna
Right.
do something enough times, I'll just start going with it.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
We're breaking rule number one.
Breaking rule number 1. There we go.
Hey,
Go for it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you go find out what's going on, and we'll go find out what's going on, and then we'll meet back up later. Maybe back
the
in the
people
mushroom
watching
forest.
at home screaming at us, it's gonna
This is
be
a great
okay,
plan.
okay? Or it's not gonna be okay. And either way, it was gonna be like that. So just
Yep.
relax and enjoy what's gonna happen with this part.
I was like, I like how
Right.
this
It's a
suddenly
great
became
plan.
very fatalist. I was like,
Let's split up. All right. Good job.
the
Yeah.
Merovingian has taken over the show. All right. So as
And
you
Manny's next words are roll for initiative.
as you split, Silah doing his best to stick out or to not stick out. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ssapiira, you're going croaky. That's what we're doing.
Yep,
Okay.
that's right.
As you make your way and try to do your best not to stick out, you notice everybody's not really looking around. Everybody in front of you seems very committed about like following the large group of people, not getting left behind, trampled, bumped into, whatever. And so you're just going to eventually like make your way through the streets. You're going to hear, like people really excited for the potential for the execution. Lots of people not seemingly knowing what it is, just really coming out for the fact that it is a public execution. Not a lot of opinions, not a lot of facts. You hear 30 different versions of who's going to be executed.
Are executions normal or not normal? This seems.
They definitely used to be. As a public spectacle way of, instilling fear, keeping people in line. They've fallen out of favor of late. So part of probably the enthusiasm is, people have been missing this. The executions are back, y'all. Let's go see this. Come on, kids, wake up. You weren't old enough when they got banned, so let's go do this. Family trip indeed.
Wow, that's cool.
All right, so you're gonna.
Is that what I hear with with the perception roll I rolled? Mostly about the.
Yes,
Go
it's
ahead.
it's
Sorry.
going to be like I said, it is very much an execution. People are very excited.
Okay.
It has been a while since they've seen one. The word traitor is the most common description that kind of gets thrown around, but just like a giant game of telephone. The stories and the kind of back and forth conversation that you hear is so varied that it's impossible to know which would be more true than any other. Okay?
Got it.
All right. So Ssapiira and Silah, you will head off following the crowd. Sorn and Sabiiro, you will make your way. Eventually, you kind of get to the end of the big group of people, and from this like really commotion and like hustle bustle of the streets becomes very peaceful and kind of tranquil. The former House Bainray is a very impressive structure. They had ruled for years and had built themselves as almost an unstoppable power before not being knocked off by House Verige. And as a move of humility and a way of keeping their own identity, they did not move into the physical house of House Bainray, and instead turned the entire structure into a giant temple to Lolth. And let me just, because I did not anticipate you splitting the party, I have to update the map just a little bit. I just have to get rid of
Step
2
one,
people.
split the party.
Okay.
Step 2, TPKs.
All right.
You
So
only go 2 at a time.
Step 3, new show next week.
yeah.
Only go 2 at a time when you do that.
Wow, in space.
Disturb Rack at 1:00 in the morning. Hey, you got time for 4 commissions by next Friday? Thanks. So you make your way to the temple. It's got this very kind of dramatic uphill
Shit. Wait, that's fine.
walkway, and as you do, you're gonna see, just despite whatever has changed everyday life out in Menzo Berenzon, at least for today, the temple seems a total like bastion away from that. Nobody seems to be in a hustle. It seems to be like you would expect, everyday church business. And as you walk up in this nice little kind of clearing before making the final climb up the last little sets of stairs, you're going to see 2 acolytes just having polite kind of discourse like you would see on any kind of normal day. They kind of look at you as you walk up. They're sitting in a space and maybe even people watching. And one of them kind of locks eyes with you and taps the other one. And they both kind of like duck their heads like very low.
Sabiiro will notice that and smile approvingly and continue walking.
Hmm. And they'll hold it until and just continue up into the temple.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorn, what do you it's time to decide. What are you gonna look like?
I look like a guard. Sorry.
Okay.
An escort guard for him.
Okay.
I even made sure that there's a long sword on the side, even though it's totally useless and can't do anything with it. But it's there for looks. I have the entire thing down, and no house markings.
Okay.
From any house. I'm just
like a freelance drow bodyguard.
Exactly.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. So, and you will have made this change before you walked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you make your way and pass them, the acolytes outside, like bowed head, very kind of respectful as you pass. You make your way up the final kind of last little bit of a climb to the temple proper. The typical doormen who are there open it up, a glint of recognition in their eye, and also a very deep, respectful bow As you make your way in, you walk into the like the grand lobby. Used to be the the formal reception foyer when they were the dominant house. So it's massive. There's a beautiful spider fountain in the middle. Nice place to congregate. People kind of meet here. And on most temple days, it is, bustle, little activity, big lobby. Today it's entirely empty. There is not like a soul. It is dead quiet. And the kind of ambient noise from this group and that group and that group that kind of builds this hum that you don't really notice. But when it's just the two of you walking in, you can hear your footsteps and they echo for a long time because the room is so large. In front of you is the grand chapel, the formal room of ceremonies, and it is usually open on most days for regular prayer. Today it is closed, and there are the lobby's big, so from a very far distance, but you can see about 6 or 8 actual armed guards. Not typical for everyday temple business.
I mean, this is so dumb. It seems that Sabiiro would be used to access this area and kind of think that he can kind of go where he damn well pleases for the most part. Doesn't understand this. It is strange that there's no sound, there's no one around, and your own feet are echoing around. That's unsettling. But I think he's been there at all hours and when it's been quiet as well. So he's not completely unfamiliar with it. As is probably one of his places that he felt most safe or at home or whatever, comfortable. And so he's not used to this being locked. So he probably walks over to those damn guards and is like, what is the meaning of this? Open this door. Why is this door closed?
Step back. The matron mother has summoned all of the powerful members of the temple for an emergency meeting. See your insignificance away from her greatness.
So I'm wait, so you're telling us to leave?
Unless you want to die with the matron mother watching.
I'm sorry, where do you think Loth is?
Not paid to think where the Spider Queen is. Paid to protect the matron mother. You have temple business, go about it.
Yes.
Cathedral's closed.
No, our business is in the cathedral.
They're outside, like the doors to the cathedral. They're blocking it from the lobby. It's like the big. Yeah. It's like the big. It used to be the ballroom or the big, like grand room of when it was the house. It is now converted to the major chapel when religious festivities go down. Like most big temple.
I said I'm going to tap on Sabiiro's chat. Yeah, Sabiiro, and kind of use drow language to say, I think we should get out of here.
Yeah, very well. And I mean, he'll try to look past. Is there anything past where they are?
There's, it shoots off like any kind of especially large temple, like almost campus. There's other chapels and other places.
Right, yeah, I figured I'd be going further into it. Okay, then. Yeah. Guess we will leave.
Okay.
Leave.
And Sorn's going to look at him and go, Do you not have a contact here?
I do have a contact here. That's who I was trying to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Are they in the cathedral?
I assume
Or are
so.
they somewhere else? Do they not have a private room? And all this is with hand gestures, of course.
Yeah, as we're like sort of slowly kind of walking off.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the place
do we want to try to bust in and stealth in?
Your friend has like his own little kind of part, you know, like essentially like an office kind of a thing. Like I said, it's a massive complex.
Yeah, I would want to go to that place, but they're blocking that place.
No, that's one of the smaller parts. It's just the one big grand cathedral that's off limits currently.
Off limits. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, I would be trying to head toward him or wherever he would be.
Okay. As you like head off, you're gonna go down a corridor and kind of head a little further down. Because of the emptiness of the grand lobby, you hear the doors like open. They're large. They are heavy. When they open and smash into the walls, echoing through this grand room. And as they like pour open, you hear like a very, very angry female voice. Just, it's kind of indistinguishable, but like just because of the cavernous echo, can't really understand what's being said. But she is pissed. She is a she. And then in addition to that, there is a very rhythmic like marching that accompanies her distant voice.
So stealthily, can I go?
Close the door.
Are we still? Can we turn a little bit around?
Yeah.
It's a. I mean, yeah, it's a good little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's just you're just down like one long corridor, so you just have to kind of turn around.
Yeah. And try to do it without drawing attention to ourselves.
Okay. Do you both want to go, or Sorn, do you want to go? And
Wait, what's happening?
Well,
he's gonna go back and look.
I think we should go back and see what's
where?
happening.
Happening at the main town square with all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yes,
Yeah.
something is happening.
Okay.
Let's get back to the family.
Yes.
Okay. As you're gonna screech the brakes. You're gonna turn around, and as you make your way like closer, you can see, the corridor. It's big column, so it's not the greatest view. To your right is going to be the doors to the grand chapel. To the left, from your perspective, is going to be the front doors. As you kind of make it to the thing and look out across, you're going to be obstructed by a couple of columns, but you're going to see what is essentially like a procession. Very strongly arranged. Lots of drow, as well as what is rumored to be the matron mother Verger's personal security detail, which is made up of 8 driders, making this odd little kind of sound as their legs skitter across the floor. You catch the tail end of it. Like I said, it looks like a big group of people.
We'll be like pausing kind of.
And they just make their way out and down the stairs of the temple to go down the path and head out into the city at large.
Town square. Fuck. We should follow them.
Yes, we should.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
We should follow them. Let's go.
All right.
Would I know any of the driders or recognize any of them?
It's been rumored that like her kind of flex is that she has driders as bodyguards. They're sworn to her. They're not any that kind of exist in a life outside of her. They don't have a life outside of their duty. Right. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So they're very conspicuous. They are dressed in like, bright violet capes. It is a large group of people. There's a fuck ton of driders, so they stick out even more. So you don't have to follow too close behind. They are easy to track even from a distance. And as you do, you kind of meld in with the crowd, which still seems to be moving in quite the direction. And you see the crowd, and eventually the matron mother is going to split off with her security detail. You're going to make it to about... You're going to make it to about here, this blue circle.
Okay.
Everybody's still going to be heading in this direction. Her security detail and everything is going to take a very dramatic, not with the tide kind of turn.
So she's left without the other drow army?
No, the whole like security detail. They're just going to go. They're going to stop.
Left.
Yeah.
But the rest of the crowd is going.
The rest of the crowd's still heading towards.
Oh. Yes. I think we should follow the matron.
Okay.
I agree.
I would say this one, yes.
Let's go.
Okay. So you're going to continue to follow. We'll cut back to Silah and Sabiira. You've gotten to the point where the crowd can no longer really move like quickly. As much space is filled in as can be, and it now becomes, I guess, like Tenta said earlier, like trying to like negotiate like a mosh pit. You can move, but it's a lot of, kind of, excuse me, that kind of thing.
I don't think that's a problem for him.
Everybody move! So it's starting to get a little jam-packed. You can hear off in the distance what sounds like cheering. Like the same way if you were to walk up to like an outdoor concert or like a sporting event from like a good distance away, you can hear a thing going on.
Matron, or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows what they're chanting?
Yeah.
I'll just kind of. I don't know. I'm not sure what we're gonna do at this point. Other than, I mean, they're all cheering, right?
Like not.
Or there is some cheers.
There's some cheering, but like I said, just like a concert, like it's off in the distance, like a little bit.
Can I see?
It's like 3-4 blocks. You can see. Oh yeah, yes, you can. Everybody seems to like for the first time. You can see people coming from other directions, converging on this spot, and you can see that there's a giant like square that you have not seen this crowded in a very long time. It all just leads to this giant opening, but you can't see why.
Curiosity might kill the cat here, but I do kind of want to see. What do you think, Liz?
Sabiira is gonna dig her claws into you and flick her tongue in your ear if you don't get moving.
Wiggle my finger once if you agree to go over there, twice if you disagree.
That is not the threat you think it is, but I'll go.
You. I'm into this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wants to go.
All right, well, I'll head off then. We're
Okay.
gonna go take a look. I'm gonna keep well hooded though.
All right.
She's gonna bite at anybody who tries to get in our way. Like, she's up on his shoulder.
A
Like
cloaked
guard dog.
A cloaked weirdo with a lizard on his back is probably not the stark contrast from everyday drow life. So I doubt you stick out like that much. Everybody's like, what the fuck's with that guy with a lizard, weirdo?
We're weird, but not that weird.
Yeah.
I got my spiders.
Come on, pet. Yeah,
Weird but understandable
come
in
on, pet
drow
tarantula.
society.
Worms.
Yeah, spider people are real judgy somehow.
Oh, parrot. It's like, I think you're in the wrong campaign.
Yeah. I wanted something different from my familiar, okay? Thank you. So you're going to slowly make your way. The like the tangible energy from like a group of people excited about something is really going to kind of kick in. You're going to feel it. You're going to see like impromptu little like wagons of food and of drink kind of hastily set up to take advantage of all of this. And it's slow moving, but after, you know, a little negotiation, your size, despite how packed it is, you eventually can start making your way closer and closer to the square. Sabiiro and Sorn, you are going to notice that just like your siblings, you're going to, for the first time, see groups of drow moving towards the same thing, but essentially in different, you know, a different direction than you've seen relative to where you've been. And this whole time, you've been following the matron mother and her security detail. And like I said, it is easy as hell to follow them. They proceed as if there is nobody else on the streets, despite how crowded they are. And even when they're crossing like perpendicular to where the throngs of people are moving, they do not break stride. They do not pause, like nothing. A couple of the driders even like knocked somebody over. No regard for them, just stepped over them with 4 of their legs like it was nothing. And they proceeded like with impunity through the streets all the way back to their longtime estate. This is the house they have had since their days as a lower tier, middling house, all the way up to the very top of the drow hierarchy, in order to show a kind of commonality with the people. They have decided to stay in their humble home. And just like with everything else, she marches just happily up the stairs, driders and various drow in tow. And the very clear like demarcation between like the street and their house,
their estate,
yes, becomes very clear. It is very secure. While claiming to be, you know, a matron mother of the people, there's still, you know, I'm not that.
Still a fence.
Yeah, I'm not that of the people, y'all. Like, you can't just knock on my door. But they just proceed into the house. You've seen the house before. Everybody knows what it is and who lives there. And it seems like they just proceed into this exceptionally well fortified mansion.
Now, why would they not be attending the execution?
Oh, does that have to do with the generals? Or should we go try to break in? That seems like a bad idea as well.
Yes, that seems like a very bad idea. Let's no.
And we're gonna. No.
And we're gonna. No.
But are there what kind of things could we like scope out? To know
It's
about if we wanted to get on the property or get to the house, or
what
we know about it.
very similar to you.
Stalk for 10 hours.
Very similar to your house. It is built up against a very large chasm in the ground, giving it a natural kind of, you know, gravity-filled moat, if you will.
Yes.
It's well fortified. Some of the best metal. It has undergone significant renovations over the years, especially as far as like the security goes. What was once just like a humble little fence is now like a very fortified iron and concrete walls. There, between the two of you, Sabiiro, you would almost be sure that the walls, especially, are probably magically warded. All of the kind of security precautions most places, even your own house, kind of undertook, would be in place here.
Drats, they have the warding walls.
I figured maybe we should head to the execution. Join up with our siblings. I don't know what more we could do here.
Agreed. Let's return.
Unfortunately. Let's return. So we'll head back to the event.
Bizarre.
Okay.
The execution.
From the other side.
Yep.
by this point, it's taking you a little while. You've essentially gone from one end of the city to the other.
Yeah, we did.
And so while Silah and Sabiiro were like trying to fight through like the crowd as it was becoming kind of a thing, you get the benefit of waiting until everybody's already having arrived. The direction that you were coming from puts it from a not so populous kind of area of the city. And you're going to see the throngs of people that you've seen. Eventually they're going to kind of stop as everybody has arrived and is trying to get as close as possible. And you are going to feel that like palpable energy of like a gathering and a spectacle that you can feel from even blocks away without being able to see whatever it is that they are, excited about. And as the ability to move like easily kind of stops, you're about 2 blocks away from where it seems everybody is trying to go. What would you like to do?
Well, unlike our brother, we can't push our way through. So maybe we can use a little, I don't know, little side steps, slide through in and out, just kind of.
You can't muscle your way through, but you also need less space to move through.
Yeah.
So
I could be casting something like prestidigitation or thaumaturgy and make like little sounds that like pop up like behind
startle
like
people.
Someone's to the right, so they'll turn to the right and then we'll just go right there on the left. And so just kind of do that to kind of like people just kind of naturally turn and kind of split themselves.
And I could do the old tap on the shoulder thing, just like and as they turn one way, go the other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing, same idea.
So through
same idea.
While muscle and
Very
strength
nice.
will get you one way, guile and a little bit of trickery will get you the other. And as you very deftly and kind of smartly make your way through, if the square is, I want to explain this to you without showing you the map because the map's going to ruin it. So take a square, put like towards the upper right and upper left hand corners 2 alleys that come in. Sorn and Sabiiro.
Madison Square Garden, is that what you said?
But not as like flat of the seats. So you're gonna come in on one, and as you make your way through this, like into this large like public square and exceptionally large throng of people, you are going to see a very recognizable silhouette doing his best to not be recognizable, as you are going to see your brother Silah and your now wild-shaped lizard sister still, while doing his best to not stick out, is still going to be significantly larger. Plus, he's got a lizard on his back. You're going to see them at kind of the opposite ends of the street. You're both going to make it to the square at the same time, but from opposite roads. And as you do,
Can I stealth up on him just to give him a head scare? Because that seems like a Thorn thing to do.
We're too far away.
Are we too far away?
No, not really. I can't give you an exact answer because I don't have the map without ruining it, and I wish I'd done something.
That's not good. So yeah, but I mean, we're going to meet up with them, and if we see them, we would go to them. So yeah, sneak up on him.
Yeah.
And
Just sort of boo.
Off in the distance, the far end of the square, you're going to see a platform having been erected and 2 like poles that seem to be sticking out of the platform. You're going to see 2 House Verge royal guards of some sort. I can't remember. As well as a member of the house wearing wizard's robes. Bang. Hold on. Let me move everybody appropriately. All right.
We were talking about getting a bunch of random numbers. We're just saying you didn't have to actually fill it to that many.
He did. He went there.
Great.
Also, Tenta, I apologize if this map brings back bad feelings. This is the map where Misawa met his end on the same platform.
Oh my God, you're right.
Sorry. I was like, I reskinned it for this campaign, but I was like, man, I hope this doesn't bring back bad memories. But Tenta had a character die on a version of this map, so sorry, buddy.
Not only dead, but dead.
Yeah, like Julius Caesar dead, stabbed in a mob of people.
Yeah, stabbed by a mob to death.
And this giant statue of Lolth hangs in the middle of the square. It is filled with just the citizenry of the city, of all stripes, of all walks of life, all stations. They are here for the blood. This is a spectacle. They want it. Off in the distance, I'm sorry, it is 3 poles, not 2. And just like in any crowd, it's going to be kind of hard to see what's kind of going on. You're going to react more to the reactions of the crowd than to necessarily what's going on. So you're going to hear this like group of people that's got that kind of pre-whatever buzz. And suddenly you're going to hear like a commotion coming from, if you are facing the stage, from the left, one of the alleys, you're going to see like the crowd kind of on the left hand of the stage from your perspective, kind of get a little more animated, like, while everybody like close by is going to be start craning their necks and trying to see what's going on. Insight Check, thank you so much for the raid. We really appreciate it. I'm glad to see you. So as you make your way into this crowded thing, you're going to see just the crowd of people start to react, and the kind of reaction is going to move as if somebody's moving through the crowd, and then up on the stage, the people in front of the stage are going to start to be animated, and then from back on there, it's just going to spread throughout the crowd, and you're going to see 3 people led to the posts. One of them is going to be a dwarven fellow who you would recognize as the person who is the protector of your vault as well as your house accountant.
Yeah.
You are going to see your what was his exact job title? 1 second. I don't have him.
I believe he was the overseer.
Overseer, yes, that is his job title. The overseer of your cave, who you had seen previously when leaving your house. You had seen him in the custody, being led away. And then
That's where they were going.
And then as the last person makes their way up to the stage, the most vicious and vitriolic reaction is raised. Booing, like actual throwing of things, and the crowd, this buzz that they've had that has been building is just explodes. Like Pearl Jam just came on stage. Like everybody is losing their mind. And everybody give me a perception check with advantage from the back of...
Ssapiira is like on top of Silah's head, practically. Like she's her little lizard paws are like on his head. She's like craning to see.
God, get off me!
Like that.
And I rolled a 1 and a 2.
You're caught up in my man bun. That's why.
Too busy trying not to fall.
Croaky tears.
Would you hold still?
Of
God,
anguish.
I'm gonna fall here.
You're sliding off his head.
She wants to see so freaking bad.
All right,
Well, I rolled really well, so you
see shit.
focused me. I got a 22.
22? Okay.
Yeah.
I got
It's
25.
like, stop
19.
moving.
Okay.
Can't see
As
shit. Terribly watery crocodile eyes.
like I said, you're just all unsteady on top of like his head. It's hard to like look around when you're trying not to fall. So as you look out, you are going to see the last person and the cause for the greatest reaction to be that of your mother, the matron mother of your house, is marched up onto stage, and tied to a post, the same as the dwarf money manager and your overseer who ran your drug operation. She takes to the stage like you would expect a defiant matron mother to. Head back, dressed really well, little bruise in the face, but also looked like she probably gave as good as she got when she was apprehended. She probably did not go quietly, and she stands up there. She doesn't fight, nuzzles right up against the post, and you can see her just be tied to the post, the same as the other two. Everybody's booing, throwing all kinds of things onto the crowd, onto the stage. Is there anything anybody would like to do real quick as you take stock of what is going on and you have like a reaction to two people, not your mom, but people who worked for you and helped you, having been apprehended, as well as not only your mother's being apprehended, but also the kind of like joy that the rest of the city seems to have in seeing a noble house like fall and to be intentionally publicly disgraced like this. It's not just,
this is intense.
Yeah, we didn't just wipe out your house and like quietly gonna pretend like it didn't happen. We're letting everybody know and we're bringing this out for everybody to see. That is a hell of a flex.
Damn.
That is going to confuse Sorn because it goes against all of Drow society. Make your attack. Don't let anybody know. Keep nobody alive. And now he's rethinking. Oh my
shit.
God.
Wait. Oh shit.
Exactly. That's exactly what's going to. Oh shit. They don't care about past presidents and they don't care about the rules.
Oh shit.
Ssapiira's thinking that if mom dies, she can bring her back to life, but her regenerate is very unpredictable and she's probably not going to come back as a drow. And that's like a whole nother fucking problem.
Oh god.
What are some of the other options real quick? Like
literally every other race.
Oh.
Like every player's handbook race.
Nice.
Don't tell.
But what do we don't. Yeah.
Okay, so mom's now a minotaur and just gonna go smashing through town.
It would be so much chaos. Like,
so mom's a
like,
Goliath.
You know what?
That's very loath of you.
That's
so
just,
very loath of you.
Maybe we just, it's what she would have wanted.
All right.
So she's still like standing there, still like, oh, what are you doing?
Silah, your mom's up there. Not only the head, the dominant house seems to be taking joy in your family's destruction, but as well as like the citizenry. Your sister's still clamoring around on your head probably a little bit. I think she's probably calmed down.
Feels like she's probably settling down by now.
So what's going on for Silah?
Silah's just crazy pissed off right now and just wants to start tearing his way through this audience for the audacity they have for enjoying his family's downfall. But at the same time, he's kind of got the perspective like, well, this is how you're supposed to do it. So I can respect their hustle, but I do really have a lot of anger towards the casualness of the fact that people are just so openly enjoying our downfall is what's most pissing me off.
Fair. All right. Sabiiro, you've come a long way. You've followed the matron mother, like of the dominant house, all the way back to the security of her estate, only to make it back here to see this large public spectacle. And What'd you get for your perception check?
25.
Okay. From your distance, the one seeming to lead or at least be out in the front on the stage, you're going to recognize as one of the children of House Verge, Velfin Verge. You're going to recognize him from school. Everything about him you remember is like encapsulated in everything from this act to his like posture, where if this was a moment to show your house's strength, you know, shoulders back, big, tall, proud mommy's boy, but very kind of hunched over, seemingly kind of withdrawn, kind of
and he's stealing my look.
Pacing interestingly, just kind of back and forth.
That guy, really?
He's a challenge.
Are we together? The rest of the siblings? Oops, sorry.
We all met up, I assume, right? Or no?
It's like I said, it's up to you guys. You can see all of this going on. So if you would
if I
like
had
to,
spotted these guys, I would have wandered over there.
okay. And I guess Ssapiira's going with you because
She can't help it.
yeah.
Nah, I'm just hanging on.
Okay.
She's
Oh
going.
wait, wrong side.
Yeah. So are you guys meeting in the middle, or you go? How's this?
Probably something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. All right.
Dang, but no, yeah. So Sabiiro would be, actually, he doesn't care about his mom. He doesn't care about his mom. She's dead to him anyway. It's been since birth, practically, since she tried to murder him twice.
I don't mean to be petty, but that ship did piss me off.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
That's
finally,
the way things are, though.
yeah. Like, good. She sees him getting tied up. Like, everyone's like, haha, yes. But but he's most surprised by kind of the accountant. He wasn't sure if the accountant was in on this or not, and so to see him up there was a surprise. Also, slightly, I don't know about the overseer being up there. Curious, nervous, whatever. But also, I mean, but seeing Velpin, motherfucking Velpin, he would just try to he would really just want to go up into just rush him and on stage and just beat the shit out of him. But all these people that are so adamant about our destruction gives him pause, and he kind of wants to see what happens. Wants to see what he says, but like he's kind of seething. He wants to like this guy. No. He just kind of hates a lot about him. Also, like he abuses Striders. He's such an asshole. He thinks he's so special, and he's never even spoken to Loth.
I wasn't aware Riders had feelings.
Of course they do. Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
Striders. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. They're like, yes, of course.
Disapproving
like,
lizard tongue flick.
Oh, that's right. No, you're a lizard. That's right.
Yeah.
Never
So you're not making any.
Very disapproving tongue
like
flick.
looking at the teeth. Yeah.
Scowl.
Yeah.
Lizard scowl.
What do you mean?
All right, Ssapiira, you are here. As not a respective sample of the entire city, but enough people to potentially either get up early to get good seats or willing to deal with the crowd to be here at this moment, cheering three figures of your house. Obviously, to be put to death for the joy of the people. How you doing? Lizard on top of your brother's head. You can see this clear as day too.
Yeah.
You're on
She
top
thinks
of the
that's
tallest person.
Sad. Just not. It's not very nice, is it?
No, it
That's
isn't.
just. Yeah. I mean, she this is very undrow-like, but she kind of feels like maybe there's some good in people sometimes, and people are not being very good right now. And it's, yeah, this is her right now. This is the sad eyes.
Sad crocodile druid sounds.
Yeah.
As everybody kind
Sad
of
lizard
really
noises.
gasps and, you know, gathers the situation here, you can see Velfin to his best, to the best of his limited abilities, try to kind of take control of the crowd. You can see him start to pace to the front and center of the stage and kind of put his arms up. And in a crowd like this, it's going to take a little while. You know, you're going to hear the audible shh from people, and a crowd like this in a space like this is only going to be but so quiet. And you can see him go from, you know, this kind of quiet down to what appears to be like arm motions, like he's talking, and, you know, he's projecting and, you know, gesticulating with his arms, and you cannot hear him. And you can hear people in front of you say, "We can't hear you." This once like lively, bloodthirsty, like animated, amped the fuck up crowd is dead. Everybody is trying to be silent because he speaks so softly. And you can see him become exceptionally frustrated before a little bit of arcane magic comes from his hands, and suddenly this magically amplified booming voice can be heard. Even with this spell to amplify his voice, it still comes across as a loud whisper. "These traitors to our society and our realm have been deemed unworthy by Lolth and my mother, the matron mother of this city herself. They have poisoned our society. They are the reasons we live down here, that we are looked down upon by those who live on the surface. They have poisoned us and kept us down, not able to reach our highest potential. My mother did not take this over for drow to be fighting drow, for us to be tearing each other down, fighting like crabs in a boiling pot. We are the superior race. Those who will destroy us are our enemies." And in this statement of the approval of Lolth, I sentence them to death by spider. Is there anything the condemned would like to say? And he points to the dwarf, and he begins to talk, and as he does, a giant spider appears on the stage. And just as he looks like he's about to like ring out and say something, the spider just descends on him and just tears him apart. You can hear the screams of agony, and this once like silent and dead crowd is suddenly very back into it. They're like into it. Minor character still died. They still got their blood, so they're into it. "Nobody cares what you think, dwarf. You're lucky I let you die so nobly by the spider. What about you? What's your excuse? You don't come from this poisoned blood. You peddle this filth to our citizens of choice. What have you to say?" Stands there defiantly. An odd choice of last words, but they're to be respected. He snaps his finger. Excuse me. And a second spider appears. descends on him. You hear the screams. It's over very quickly. The crowd once again grows a little louder, this time at the joy of seeing one of their own eaten. Excuse me. Finally, matron mother, we come to you. I know you will not be at a loss for words. And as somebody who's about to have their entire line, house, history, and legacy erased, I will grant you as much time as you need. See your mother straighten up. She's bound. She straightens up. This attack on our house does not come with Wolf's blessings. It is the act of a renegade and desperate house. Full of fear of losing control. Control of you and control of this dead-end destiny. Velfin, release me now. End this charade, and I will be sure that your family continues to exist. Kill me now, my children, who are still alive. And you can hear this gasp in the crowd.
What?
My children will hunt down and destroy your entire house. Your pathetic, weak father, your weird sister, your idiot brother, and most of all, your manipulative and pathetic father. Ours is a legacy of blood. We have fought our way to the top. Your obstacle, your existence, your false faith will not deter us. Do your worst. My children will see you soon. Crowd, just, this is wrestling. That's the cheapest heat you'll ever gonna get. Boo! Really throwing things, heavy things now. This isn't just Rotten Tomatoes. They're throwing obvious things, crashing the stage. Velfin's even kind of ducking. Very well, matron mother. Very well, matron mother. Have it your way. Your children will die by the sword, by the flame, or if have my way, by the spider. Your house will cease to be, and it begins with you. And he summons a third spider.
Ssapiira will use one of her messages. Oh shit, can I do that when I'm in form? I think I have to whisper. She's gonna drop out of wild shape and then behind Silah. So I doubt anyone would even see it because he's so big. And right before she gets attacked, send just whisper a message to her. We will avenge you.
You can see this, that proud defiance, stoic, no expression, turn to this little smirk as the spider kind of rears up. And as it rears back, pincers, ready to strike, the crowd, that desperate gasp, right before something happens, it rears back. And we'll end it right there for the night.
Manny.
Come on, man. You knew that was going to happen.
I did. That's why I'm so exasperated. So I was like, oh shit, he's gonna cliffhanger me. Bam, cliffhanger. It's god damn it.
Come on, dude. It's been almost 2 years, bro. We're staying on brand.
I know. It's just tough to roll that way. That's all.
All right. So the plot has thickened, I think. We have seen some indicators of some things. I hope you feel like you've gotten a little more answers than I don't know. I don't want this to be lost where you're like, hey, we had 3 questions answered, but now there's 8 more questions that I don't know, and you're like, my reaction to most episodes is, huh?
Questions, lots of answers. I love it.
Column A and B were both in order this time. It's fine. Don't worry.
All right. So you have seen this amazing group of people play these great drow siblings. Behind them, they are even better people who I am not only lucky to know, but to get to do this weekly with them. My life is better for it, and I thank them for it. They're even better people. We give them a little chance to say something about themselves on our way out. I'll do a little channel business, including a teaser announcement for something coming in 2023. But let us start. Let's go out of birth order today and kind of do by impact. Let's do Sabiiro first. You've heard two different stories about all of this without having ventured into the temple. You have seen a pissed off matron mother. You have heard her shitbag son, who you particularly do not like, announce all this comes with Walt's blessing, as well as your mother, who in her final moments could just be giving them the finger, but in her own way claims that this is all a sham. What kind of emotions are you going through right now? And then tell us about our buddy G.
Yeah. Let's see. Sabiiro feels a certain relief and confidence in someone confirming that he's still Lul's special man, and things are, that connection's still there. His whatever meaning for life is still prevalent and active, and that this shitbag is a shitbag, and so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of where he's at right now. I think so.
All right. Awesome. We'll find out next week. Deliberate DM cliffhanger. Oh, terrible.
Oh man, we've been thinking about this all week.
Yeah. All right. Let's slide to the oldest brother, Sorn. You went to the temple to get answers. You may have gotten them in a roundabout kind of way. You too, not a big fan of Mommy Dearest, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So,
but still, this seems to be counter what he thinks drow society is. So he's a little confused. That he would feel this way. That he would. This is not how it's supposed to happen, as far as he knows in his brain.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Ssapiira, I don't want to put this in your head in a kind of weird way. There's a chance you're getting promoted in a sense here relatively quickly. Your two brothers that we've already talked to, not the biggest fan of Mom. Not really sure where you come out on that. A lot of pressure. You're also the favorite child, so she might be a bitch to them, but she might be cool with you. And then your statement of avenging, you're about this, right? Her speech was not just her defiance and just the middle finger. You felt that? You want to be that?
I mean, she mostly said it because she wanted to say something nice, and she felt like that would make her feel better in her last moment, because Ssapiira is not really a blood and vengeance kind of person. But and I don't feel like she was probably particularly close to her, and also she knows that her twin brother, who she does dearly love, hates their mother. So that's awkward. So yeah, it's all a little complicated. But Ssapiira tries to just not hate anyone and just stay away from people that make her uncomfortable if possible. She doesn't necessarily want a promotion, but it was weird because she just kind of assumed that was the thing, because they all thought that she was dead, and now she's not, but now she's about to be, but also now maybe not, because what the hell, dude? So yeah, it's a lot.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, fabulous.
No.
Silah, You, like I said, you also seem to not really have much of a personal connection to your mother's, fate, but much more of just the complete like disregard that society seems to have for your house. Is that fair?
It's the disrespect that gets under my skin, not the happenings.
Okay. So yeah, crowd full of people. We don't know what's going to happen to mom.
Yeah.
What are you thinking right now as this is all going down?
I do have an inclination to protect mom from this fate, but at this point, I know that protecting my sister has a higher priority because basically, in order to save mom, I'd have to sacrifice us. So I've kind of just swallowed what's going to happen and I'm just waiting for it now.
Okay.
And making sure that no one gets too close to my sister.
All right. That's everybody, yeah? All right.
Yep.
So that has been us, episode 2, Legacy of Blood. Thank you to everybody who watched. To our good friend Insight Check, thank you for the big raid. To Rem of the Realm, thank you for the follow. To the Forgotten Trope, also thank you for the follow. We really appreciate it. We will be back here next Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time for episode 3 of Legacy of Blood. Join us Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for our flagship show, currently being run by our good friend Sam, aka Cauldron, through What Lurks Below. I get to be a player, which is just absolutely insanely so much fun. It's I'm having a blast playing with the Tuesday crew, who I've been their DM for a year and a half, so getting to play with them every chance I get is really a lot of fun. Wednesday night, join us back for the resuming of Dynasty of Dragons. We were off last week because of work. And also, coming in 2023, we have a very big goal that we want to branch out into different games from Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. While playing, we're still going to play 5th edition, but we're also going to branch out into 2 other systems. We're going to do 3 systems in 2023 for our 3 shows. We're going to do a Pathfinder show, continue a 5th edition D&D show, and then we are also going to announce tonight that we are going to do a Shadowrun 2nd edition show coming in late spring. We're very excited about that. We just got the ball rolling on that, so stay tuned for more information about that. That's going to do us tonight. To my amazing players, you guys are great. I love you. Thank you for being so cool and kind of rolling with this. To everybody who watched, thank you so much, and we'll see everybody on one of our 3 shows next week. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a great night, and we out of here.